Right, hello and welcome back to MG Model Works. Right, a few of you, well, my normal subscribers would have noticed that I did make a start on this kit probably, I think it was the beginning of February, and to be truthful with you, it went completely wrong. I'll be straight to the point. Some of the kit was started, which made it a little bit hard for me to get involved with it. It went wrong. We had a CMK Block 30 intake for her, which was completely wrong. It didn't fit. There was nothing I could do to make it fit. It was perhaps 5mm to out of line, if you like. It was no way I could make it up with filler or with shims or with any reason at all. So basically it went wrong. The wheel bay, which was supplied, which is another CMK item, didn't fit. So again, it was another issue that I had and went completely wrong. So what I've decided to do, as this was a commission build, was to replace the kit and the Wolfpack conversion set and completely start again. Basically I binned the other kit and we're gonna go completely start completely from fresh again. There is a couple of videos up. I will delete them and we will start this from the beginning and go from stage 1 all the way through. The only thing I won't be rebuilding is the engine. I'll probably leave the first part of the old videos up because it has the engine in it, and we'll start again. Now, first things first. This is, as I said, this is a commission build for a guy called Nick, who I'm very friendly with. I'm not going to tell you his surname because it wouldn't be fair. But I'm going to dedicate this build to a friend of mine who has been extremely ill over the last 4 or 5 months, and at one point they were talking about turning the life support off. So obviously he was really ill. It all started off with what was flu-like symptoms, and he ended up in hospital, as I said, intensive care. We got to hear about this from his good lady wife, who kept myself, Mick, Jed and a few others, Fred, involved and informed of what was going on. Now I'm going to dedicate this to Richard Roberts. This guy, back in 2011, 2012, when I first started building models again, he was the guy who encouraged me. I was out of work, I was buying cheap, I say cheap but good quality cheap Airfix kits, and he sent me some expensive kits that I could never afford, and he encouraged me to carry on. And he's probably, or the main reason that I am where I am today, working with Alclad, having the ability to do basically what I wish. So Richard, this is for you. I know you wanted a video to watch in your hospital bed. I know you ain't coming out until the end of May, so let's see if we can keep you interested, should I say, just for a little while. So just to show everybody that this is a brand new kit, it's never been opened before. As you can see, we've got our transport box, which we're going to need because this is going to go to Telford to be handed over. So you should be able to see it on the stand at Telford this year. And as you can see, everything inside it, never been opened, never been touched. So it's a brand new, fresh kit. Okay. Oops, hit the light. And we'll put that to one side because, and again, I can find it, bear with me. I've also rearranged the desk so I don't know where everything is at the moment. We'll just take the cellophane off. just to show, this is again brand new set, not been touched, never been opened. There's decals, there's photo etch, there's all sorts of bits and pieces, and it's actually, it's not resin, it is plastic or styrene, so it's going to make things interesting. Bin stuck, can't get in the bin, oh well, anyway. Right, so I'm going to open the boxes, open the bags, get rid of all the bags, and we'll come back, we'll get on with stage 1 again. Okay, and Richard, this one's for you, mate. Cheers, buddy, I'm glad you're feeling better. Okay, right, so I've unpacked all the sprues from the plastic bags, lots of them, and there's all the sprues are ready, apart from the engine ones, which I haven't touched. Now, the first thing I do when I start a new kit is look at this canopy and to check for the seam and see if there's a seam in the canopy, and I'm not quite sure if you can see it on this a bit better. There is quite a pronounced seam on this canopy running straight through the middle on the rear of the canopy, or the main canopy, and also on the front. Again, it's part of the process, we all moan about it. It is such a large piece, there has to be a join. It's something we all moan, like I say, about, but it's got to be taken care of. So that's what we're going to do now, and I was just going to show you how I do it. So first thing to do is a little bit of Kabuto tape, and we'll just, I've got you in quite close so you can see here, so if I go out of shot I do apologise, but I'm trying to show you as much as possible. So we're trying to cut down on the amount of damage we do to the canopy by putting the Kabuto tape quite close to the area we're going to be sanding. This is something when I first started again in 2011 that I was nervous of doing. The worst thing you could ever do when you were a youngster was to get glue or scratch the canopy. To me that ruined the model. So what we're doing now is quite scary for some people, so hopefully I'll show you an easy way of doing it. So I'll take you out just a little bit so hopefully you don't go out of shot. Only a little, that's it. Okay, so we've got our tools of the trade that we're going to need. We have a very fine sanding stick, a slightly finer sanding stick, both sides, and then we go on to the seam removal system from Allclad, and obviously you know that I do a lot of work for them, so this is what we're going to use. So we start off on there with 1600 to 1800, then we go to 2400 to 3600, 4000 to 6000, and eventually 8000 to 12,000. Now when that's finished, even then you'll see some slight marking, and we'll come in with some abrasive liquid. Now I used to use toothpaste, but it was nice being minty fresh, but this stuff does the job and it's a lot easier to clean up afterwards, believe me. So we're going to keep that up to one side for a moment. So the first thing we're going to do is a quick warning. Remember, friction causes heat. Heat causes plastic to become very malleable, or brittle. Now, too much pressure, too much heat, this will crack. Yes, I have another donor kit if I break this one, but that's just a warning, so in future please take it easy when you do this the first time. I mean, a lot of people put blue tack or white tack, preferably white tack because it's not greasy, inside it. I'm going to use a bit of Blitz, or just a small piece of kitchen towel. Just wrap it up, tear it in half, keep the other half later on, and all we're going to do is just push it inside, and that just helps keep the shape of it, and we're able to now rub away. But don't rub too hard, keep it soft, don't put no pressure on any of the sticks, just use them for what they were designed to do, and that is sand. The more you dig in, the more grooves you're going to make. So all we're going to do, we're going to start at the top very lightly. There's no pressure on this whatsoever. We can see the line fading, or I can still see a line where I'm sanding getting blurry, which means we're actually getting the right part. And we're going to take this all off. We're just being gentle, we're not going too mad. Well, just for the record, this is the 11th of May, Saturday 11th of May 2019 we're starting this. Obviously this is going to be built for Telford, to take to Telford to be handed over to the recipient there. So got a while to do this, but in between that we do have the massive Hobby Boss 1/32 Liberator, which Top Notch masks have supplied me with a custom mask for it to do a certain aircraft. So that's got to be done as well. That will be at Telford for everybody to see, along with a few other little builds that I've done just lately, which I haven't done videos or photographed or anything. So all I've done is I've gone over it once or twice with the rougher side, or the lighter grade I should say, and all we're doing is just looking along the line just to see if we have got rid of her, and we have. And we're going to come in with the first of the coarser ones of the Alclad canopy removal, canopy seam removal set. So the rougher one first, which is this is the 1500, and we're just going to go over it again, just giving it a. I know this is pretty in depth, but I do like to show everything I can on the video. I could do this and not show you. What's the point in that? No one learns anything, and I don't enjoy it as much. So we turn the stick over, and we're now in with the 1800 side. And again, we're not putting any pressure, because you can't. Hopefully, you can't even hear this. And we're going to go in. All we're doing is gentle rub. We're not causing scratches, we're actually just sanding away nice and gently. And we're going to move on straight away to the, I'll find the right one, to the 2400 first, and then on to the 3600. So exactly the same thing. This is repetitive, I know, and I do apologise. I'm sure you'd rather see the whole job done properly. I mean, there are other videos online which show basically the same technique, but I like to show you everything that I do. Okay, right, so that's that side, which is the 2400. Now onto the 3600. And again, all we're doing, we're polishing more than sanding, if you like. We're now trying to get the beautiful clearness back that Tamiya did in their first part of it. Just like so. And we're going along nicely, and we're starting to get some of the clearness back. So that's the 2400 and the 3600. On to the 4000. In my opinion, these are the best tools in my armoury, apart from my airbrushes. They're not expensive, about £5 a set, and well worth everything, and available on Alclad's eBay site or from their webpage, which is alclad2.co.uk. Along with the paints, I think the new grey set will be up soon, so you'll be able to buy those as well, which we'll be using in this build. Anyway, we're over to the 6000 grit, or mesh, whatever you want to call it when it comes to things like these. And we're just polishing now, we're not sanding at all. That part of it is finished and done and forgotten about. As I said, we're now on to this one. Right, that's that lovely. Then we come on to the 8000 to 12,000. So again, just polishing. Now I can see the blitz cloth showing through lovely again now, so I know I'm getting somewhere. Oh, so all we're doing is just polishing, no pressure, just polish. And we turn it over to the 12,000. Starting to get quite warm. Polishing it away. Sun's out, children are out, can't do anything about the noise, I'm afraid, especially if Dudley comes in. And then we're over to the 12,000, so this is the last of the polishing side with the sticks. Now, take the blitz out, take off our tape, straight in the bin. Basically it's no good to keep, so I generally try to use tape for more than one thing, but with doing it like this you can't. Okay, then we take our blitz, I'll bring it in again just so you can see. Now you can see, even though it's been polished quite heavily, there's a line. But all we're going to do now is just rub it away. A bit of tape stuck on there, not good. We're going to polish that away, like so. Okay, now we've just got basically a tram line down the centre. Get rid of some of the dust. Put her in. Oh, and take it up just that little bit. Now we come in with our micro gloss cleaner, and just want the smidgen on a piece of blitz or any good towel. Others are available. He says try to get that squeezed out, a bit too much there. So where's that other half bit we had? There you go. Take some off, and all we're going to do now is gently, very gently, lay it on and then polish again. It doesn't matter if you get it on the rest of the canopy this time, because you're polishing the whole thing. so you know, we're not going to be too fussy. What we are doing, dropping that in because it's easier for me to hold, we're just polishing away those fine little marks that are left by the cloth, being very careful at this point because I have nothing underneath it to protect it. And we're wearing it up until she's nearly wore up, and go back to, I'm going to put that, there it is, a little bit more on there just to give it one last polish. Now I'm going to do it again because I'm not quite happy with it, and I'm going to give it just one more go, and a little bit more this time. I left the end of the sprue on there for a reason that you'll see in a moment. And just like I say, we're just going to polish it away until I'm completely happy with what I've polished, and I can see there's no more issues, which I'm happy now. Okay, now we have a clean bit of cloth, and we're going to take off all the residue, hopefully. Not hopefully, we will. Another piece here. Let's put that up lovely. Okay, so that is how to remove the seam, which I don't know how well the camera will pick this up, but there is, I'll bring that box back in, hopefully you'll see that we have no more seam. We have a perfectly clear cockpit, and we're ready. Just make sure we just finish it off so there is no residue left. This is nearly fallen off, but hey ho. In fact, I'm actually going to trim it off. I was going to try and leave it on, but it's going to cause more trouble than it was worth. I'll leave that on until I've done the next step. Right, so we're happy with our canopy the way it is. The seam has been completely removed. She's nice and shiny, and I'm covered in microgloss. Now, here we go. We have signature, Morrison's signature goose fat. Not in. It's actually decanted aquagloss. We have our Rose's tin with, I'll just take this out because that's too close. Our Rose's tin, and in that we've got just a piece of cloth ready to go. We need a half decent set of tweezers, which we have. We want a piece of my Blitz yet again, and we are going to just dunk, or I'm just going to dunk in my canopy. Cover it all like so. For some reason there's a large blob in there, we'll get rid of that like so, and we're going to knock off the excess. Let that suck off. Just like that. There There's still quite a bit, and then we're going to dun cut once more. And again, knock off whatever's remaining. And what this will do, this will fill in any small scratches that may be left and leave our canopy area hopefully completely clear. Now what this also does is protect the canopy if you use super glue anywhere near it. And then what I do is I just lay it onto the blitz inside, just like that. Put the lid on, forget about it until it's required. It's as easy as that. It's not a hard job. It's not as scary as it used to be when we were young. Hello, Dudley's about. And then what I'll do the front windscreen, and then I'll come back with more parts laid up for the rest of part 1. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've done the windscreen. I'm sorry if you hear Dudley in the background. A bit whiny at night for some reason. I think it must be a cat outside. Anyway, we're on to part 13, which is the undercarriage bay. Main landing gear compartment, if you like, is what they call it. Fine, I call it undercarriage bay. Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to build it all up and spray it all in one like I always do. Now there is another part that goes to this, which is the cross member, which is later on in the section. Did find it a minute ago. There we go. It's part 25, which I've just missed, so I've got to find that. F-25, so we'll find that first. We've also got another part which goes across the top, which is right across the centre. So we'll just find F-25. Or did I remove it? Oh, I did remove it. That's bonus. Okay. So, right. So, back to 13, the instruction manuals. And we're going to put it together. So, first things first. Oh, glue. Now, my go-to glue is Tamiya Extra Thin, or TET as most of us know it. Very, very good stuff. It's a welding glue rather than a glue. You know, air-fixed glue, basically what it does, it forms an area and you just put it on and it sticks. It sticks it to it. It doesn't form it. This stuff actually melts the plastic to plastic. It's basically like welding two bits of metal together. So this is my go-to glue. Now another part that I've pulled out of the hat for a little bit later, which can go on straight away anyway, which is our box part, which is actually the battery compartment, and we're going to spray this all together as one again. So first job, work out how it's going to go, like so, I believe. Something like that. This is quite a fiddly bit actually. So we have it that way. Try to match up exactly how it is. Yeah, it goes on like that. And I just hold it together gently, knock a little glue off. Now with this glue, all you do is just touch. The capillary action will do the rest. Hold up just for a few seconds, touch, and it will glue itself in. and that will dry very, very quickly. Now, there is a third part to this, which is this little bit, F-34. So again, we match up our instructions to which way it go, and we go around, and we're just gonna lay it in, and we can touch from the back, and again the capillary action will drag that all round, and there she is. That's ready. So that can go on in a minute. Okay, so we go back to our part 13. Have a look exactly how she goes and how we're going to run it. So we've got J19 and, well, they're both actually called J19. Just checking, always check which way things go, which is exactly what I'm doing at this moment in time. It's very difficult to see exactly, but it looks like they go on the bottom. That's F-14J19. Just gonna work out. Right, so it goes to that edge, and it goes. Alright, I've got the wrong one. Not clever mark. And that goes inwards. And that goes to the outside like that. Okay, so there we go. Like that. And just touch the glue. Let it go together. Same for the other side. Layer in. Touch, let her flow. She's in nicely. Now we have missed a couple of bits, which is F-14 and F-15. So we'll just find them on the sprue. Take you out just that little bit more. That's not F, that's why I can't find it on there. Okay, so got J19, we have two J sprues and there are two J19s. So there it is. So take our cutters nice and level and just pick them off nice and gently. Go back in the box. And here we go. J again. Just like so. And in we go. Right, put those to one side. Make sure we clean it up. Nothing too harsh. Just to take the edge off. And I hope you can see this. Yeah, so I haven't checked. So they're nice and clean. Just check our orientation. Big word for me, believe me. So they go on. Two dots facing that way. That's lovely. Right, that's a bit loose, so I'll just put a little bit of glue in there first. Make sure everything's correct and that you can see what I'm doing. And we're straight in. And the other side. Again, a little bit of glue around the outside. A bit of horrible bit on that. Get that on. And in we go. So we've got some actuators in there nicely. Our next part is some sort of hydraulic tank, I would imagine. I love the aircraft, I know very little about her. I'm more F-15 sort of a person. That goes in like so, on there, and we're just checking everything we do, double checking, making sure we get it right. No more replays of what's just happened to me. So if we have it like that, that actually pokes upwards like so. Okay, and then we just touch and touch, hold it for a few seconds, make sure she's square. That's our tank in. Then we've got our two of our rails to go on. So we've got our forward section, which just clips in just like so. I do love the detail in these bays, although I'm not very good on my cleaning up at the moment by the looks of it. And all we'll do again is touch that side, just touch there and through the centre like so, and that'll hold itself nicely. Again, I missed a bit by cleaning up. Right, now our rear, or yeah, it is our rear part, making sure we've got our orientation completely correct. Again, we want no mess ups. Make sure everything's correct, how it goes on, and it just clips. Holding it in that vein on like that, and again touch, touch and flow, touch and flow. I hope as you hear the children outside playing, but hey ho, it is nice outside for a change this evening, so I don't blame them. Right, now we have our bulkheads. This is a major one, and again it just clicks in. And you can't get the orientation wrong on this bit because the holes are guided and everything's correct. So we'll touch at the rears. Always run your glue if you possibly can where it's going to be out of sight. That way if you do get a glue mark it doesn't show. And then we have our other end. We'll keep that onto that bit. Right. Again, just looking and checking everything that we're doing. And I left the camera on servo, I do apologise. It's all in. And just touch a little bit of glue in there. Going against exactly what I just said. Run glue, as it's a bulkhead, quite a way around it, and make sure it's sitting square. That's the priority here. Just like that. Okay. So that's that piece done. Now we have two other parts. Hang on, we'll just put on our battery box, which is obviously a little bit later, but we're putting it on because it's going to be sprayed all the same colour, and that goes, trying to work out the orientation yet again, but I went out of shot then, I do apologise yet again. We'll bring it in just a little bit closer. We're checking the orientation, so it basically goes in like that, and it sits on the top like so. Okay. Right, so we get a little bit of glue. Very rare we do it like this, but just sit her in, a little bit of glue straight across, not to dry. Okay, now this piece, eventually, I'm trying to see why we can't put it in now, to be honest with you. I can see why, because those bits will overlap. That will eventually go in that area like that, and we have another piece here which will go across like so. Now what I've done, I will paint these all at the same time. So I'll just put this piece. I know that these holes here are used for something for the undercarriage legs, so that's ready to be sprayed on a cocktail stick and the block of Oasis. The lateral part I've left it on part of the sprue, easy to clean up, it's never going to be seen, so that will go eventually go in that direction and put in. So that's the undercarriage bay done, and I'm going to call it that at that, simply because I'm going to try and keep these videos a little bit shorter, make life easier. So that's going to end a part of rebuild part 1. So our F-16 is up and underway. I'll get this edited and up as soon as possible, and we'll get back to the next part, which will be our rear air duct, obviously painted. We'll do that, and we'll show you how I do a seamless, well, it won't be an intake, but we'll make this seamless as well. Okay, thanks for watching, and we're back soon. Thanks for now. Bye bye.